Hello and welcome to What are impulse responses and how can we use them? Okay, so what are impulse responses? An impulse response usually is a WAV file that can be imported to an impulse loading app. These files contain information of a moment in time. This would be of a guitar cabinet in a room with a microphone or microphones at a certain distance and angle. The tone you will get will differ greatly depending upon which type and make of cabinet is used, also the type of microphone or microphones and where they are placed, and also the angle that they're at. Sometimes you'll get a microphone placed straight on, okay, straight on with a cab. Imagine this microphone is the cab, so it will be straight on like that. And sometimes you'll have it at a 45-degree angle, okay, and the tone can differ greatly between those two situations. Also the distance. If you have it mic'd up right to the grill on a cab, you're going to get a fuller sound and a more intense sound as well. Whereas if you pull the mic back a certain amount of millimeters, then the sound will be slightly darker, especially if you move from the center of the cone out to the side. That will add to the darkened sound. There's a lot of variety depending on the type of cabinet, the type of cone it is, the size of the cone, and also the type of mic and where it's placed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on and look at some more information. Let's check it out. In this video I will be using this beautiful DW Guitars Les Paul custom made. As you can see, it is a beautiful guitar in cherry sunburst. I'll be going through my Amp 1 Mercury Edition amplifier by Blue Guitar, and also going through the Torpedo Captor 8 load box. If you're enjoying watching this video, please consider smashing that like button and subscribing to my channel so that I can keep on bringing this free content. Okay, I'm in Reaper here and I have this plugin up. Now this plugin is what's called a convolver or an IR holder. It's by Lancaster Audio, it's called Pulse and is powered by Ignite amps. Now the function of this plugin is to hold impulse responses. Without being too detailed, I'll go through what this is happening in this video. So I have an unusual cab, a 1x6, and on that cab I have an AKG 414 on the cone. On the other side I have exactly the same cab. The microphone is different though. We've got a 160 ribbon mic on the cone, the same distance from the mesh of the cabinet as is on the AKG 414. So they're both the same distance from the cabinet. The only difference is that we're using different microphones. Now down here we have a balance knob. So at the moment I'm going to start off with the AKG 414. Then I'm going to move it into the center so we have a blend of both microphones together. And then after that I'm going to go far right and we'll be using only the ribbon mic, the 160 ribbon mic. Now if you're new to impulse responses and using them, I think you'll be blown away by the difference in tone between just those three settings. It will make a massive difference. You're going to find that when you start using different types of cabinets, the sound will also change. Technology has moved along so far in the last 10 to 15 years. Impulse responses probably started around about 15 years ago, something along those lines. They were a lot more crude in those days, but with technology today, it is a fantastic way of working, whether you're playing and recording in a studio, whether that be commercial or at home or on stage. You have pedals that can take on impulse responses and go straight into a PA. So the sky's the limit with these things. So let's move on, and I'm going to play some riffs. They're going to be pretty similar to each other, and we'll go through those 3 settings that I suggested and listen to the difference in tone. Right, okay, now the impulse responses that I'm using in this video, and this is not a sponsored video, okay, I'm not sponsored by anyone for anything. I am using Dr. Bonkers. You can see the address up here, so I suggest you try and check them out. The reason I'm using them is twofold. One, they're economically very good. So in these times where people are a bit hard up for cash, these are very well priced. They're not expensive at all. What this company does is a one-man outfit, okay? It's a one-man show. Been going for a long time, and he started out making speaker simulations for Fractal Audio, and then he expanded, and now he does WAV files, which is what I use. And you can use them on any impulse loading system, so they're great. He uses very unusual cabinets and microphones sometimes as well. They're fully functional. He's got a great array of different amps going on for both guitars and bass. You won't find those same kind of cabs with some of the big players like Celestion and Overhammer, York Audio, places like that, which are all great, you know, and I have both Celestion and Overhammer impulses as well, and I use them a lot. But I use Dr. Bonkers a lot as well because you kind of stand out a little bit more because they're so different. So that's why I'm using them, and that's why I'm promoting this them on this video, because I'm using them and I use them every day. Also, I'm using this plugin. This is a free plugin, as you can see, and it's by Lancaster Audio. It's called The Pulse, and I suggest you go and download it, because then you'll have somewhere that you can actually bring in your own impulse responses, play your heart away. Again, recommend this. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and then you'll be able to move on. So that is the Lancaster Audio Pulse. So why am I using impulse responses and not real cabinets? Well, as you may be able to see, this is a small studio. It's fully functional and fully packed, fully loaded with gear. I have a load of gear in here. It is also used commercially. It's a small room, but for anyone doing anything from podcasts to tracking ideas through to full productions. Obviously I can't get a band in here, it's way too small for that, but I do get guitarists coming in, vocalists, bass players, and if drums are already tracked in a room, or if they want to use a drum rompler, then they can do it here. It's amazing what you can do in a small space like this, and that is the main reason why I use impulse responses, because they are so good today and so realistic. I don't have the room in here really to mic up a guitar amp, because I would need to have it secluded in a dampened area so that there wasn't any extraneous noise coming through on the mics. With impulse responses, there's no need for that. So that is why I use impulse responses. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Sabs out.